Have you ever dreamed about moving to Spain? Today we have a special program to talk about one of the options you have to get permanent residence in Spain. Stay with me until the end if you want to discover every step you need to follow to achieve that goal. Hi, I am Marilyn Santalices, your global and local real estate advisor. Please watch the full video because at the end, I'm going to cover a tip that may be interesting for you. Hello everyone, welcome to our special interview about the Golden Visa in Spain. Today, I have a special guest, Juan Carlos Marhuenda, an expert immigration lawyer. Welcome, Juan Carlos.
Hello, welcome. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you, Juan Carlos, for being here with us. As you may know, some governments change citizenship or resident rights for investment purposes. It is fair, it's not up to us to judge. However, I would like to share with you something about this type of agreement specifically and help people make the most of all the opportunities available for them. Although this agreement varies from country to country, the requirements usually include a variety of investments in business, real estate, or government bonds. So there are some basic components that we would like to clarify for everyone that is watching us. First, Juan Carlos, to begin, could you explain to us what exactly the Golden Visa is and what the main benefits are for foreign investors who wish to live in Spain?
Yeah, of course, it's a pleasure. Well, I would like to start saying that the Golden Visa is a residency program established in Spain with the intention to attract foreign investors to Spain. Basically, it offers investors and their families the opportunity to obtain legal residency in Spain in exchange for an investment. And this investment must be in determinate assets, such as mainly in real estate, companies, or public bonds. The main benefits includes the possibility of residing in Spain and traveling freely throughout all the European Union, as well as accessing public services and the Spanish labor market. For example, in the moment in which the Golden Visa is obtained, the citizen could move freely in any of the countries of the European Union, and also he can obtain permits of works and residing in any of the EU country members. The most common method to obtain a Golden Visa is buying a property in Spain, with usually is a minimum value of 500,000 euros. This is an amount that must be totally free of debts, mortgages, etc. So it's a net amount of 500,000 euros for a property. And with this, the investor will obtain freedom of movement, tax advantages, and access to the EU single market in the same level of protection, legal, public services, etc., as well as the citizens of the EU country members. Once obtained the Golden Visa, the investor will be authorized to work and to reside throughout the national territory of Spain, and also from their family members, and with determinate conditions of age and dependency of the family members of the investors.
So what are the requirements to be able to obtain a Golden Visa?
Well, the requirements vary depending on the type of the investment, but in general, a minimum investment is required, which is 500,000 euros for buying a property, for purchase a property, and 2 million euros depending on the type of assets. I will explain you later. Eligible investments include the purchase of real estate, investment in business projects that may generate employment in Spain, or the acquisition of public bonds. The person who applies for the Golden Visa must prove that the capacity of the economic capacity of the investor is covered by one of the elements described below. We describe it right now, which is investment in financial assets. In this case, the investor must invest 2 million euros in any of the financial assets offered in the Spanish market. Shares or equity interest in companies with Spanish capital. In this case, the investor must invest 1 million euros in any of the Spanish companies designed by the program, and also alternatively, it is allowed to invest 1 million euros in any of the investment funds or venture capital, also in bank deposits in the Spanish financial institutions. As I was explaining before, it is also possible, which is the main, is the most widely used golden visa system, is investing in real estate market with an investment of 500,000 euros, which I repeat that it should be a net investment out of taxes, etc., etc. So the property or the real estate price to be paid, it should be at least 500,000 euros. It is also possible to obtain the golden visa with the investment in a business project in Spain. In this case, there is no minimum. It will be a consideration of the Spanish system or the Spanish administration if this investment is an interesting investment for the Spanish economy, and it will be evaluated depending on which type of project of business creates in Spain. Usually, there are determined criteria that this business project must respect, which is the job creation. So it must be a project that creates. It's interesting in Spain to create jobs. Also, it is important if the project creates socio-economic impact in the area, and if it is some kind of project also alternatively which creates some kind of relevant contribution to the scientific or technological innovation.
Yeah. Okay. And Juan Carlos, who can apply for a golden visa?
Well, usually it's the same investor himself or his duly accredited representative is able to submit the application according to the requirements of the official model.
Yeah, and are there any restrictions regarding the nationality of golden visa applicants in Spain?
No, not at all. The program is open to citizens of any country outside the European Union, and all those who meet with the established requirements can apply for the golden visa in Spain. So it is one of the conditions, of course, is to be a citizen of any of the countries out of the European Union.
Understood. And where can you apply for a golden visa?
Well, if you are outside Spain, you can apply for a residence visa for investors at the Spanish consulate in the country of your residence. If you are legally in Spain because you are working, you have already obtained a residency visa for any other ways, you can apply in Spain in what we call the large companies and strategic groups unit in Spain.
Okay, so I understand that if you have any other type of visa and you are currently living in Spain, you can actually make the change to this golden visa. So that is possible.
That's right. That's right. For example, a tourist visa, a residency visa, or a working visa. On that moment, you can obtain. You can apply in Spain for the golden visa.
Yeah. Okay. And I know this question may be a little bit hard to answer, but how long does it take approximately to obtain a golden visa, and what are the legal documents involved in the process?
Well, I have to say that the process is quite rapid in comparison with other residency applications. Why? Because it is relatively straightforward. In the moment in which all the personal documents from the investor are in good order and they are legalized and translated in the right way, etc., then the process is quite simple. It is a way, there is a way to demonstrate the investment with the acquisition of the bonds or the acquisition of the property or the presentation of the project as in the business interest in the business entrepreneur visa, and it's quite simple. The documents to present are usually public or private medical insurance with an operating entity in Spain. It will be needed also to prove that the investor is free of any criminal record. It will be also necessary to credit the economic means of the investor, and of course it will be necessary to credit the investments. This will vary depending on the type of investment, as I was explaining. If there is a investment in real estate, it should be justify the payment of the 5,000 euros in any of the real estate purchases in Spain, or if it is an acquisition of the bonds, etc. In the same way, when the investment is done in financial products.
Got it. Okay. And Juan Carlos, do all foreign documents need to be translated and legalized?
Yeah, we have to say that this is one of the main points in order to demonstrate the personal and the investment justification of the ways of the personal situation of the investor. So it is necessary to obtain all these documents duly translated and with what we call the apostille of the Hague Convention, which is an international stamp that must be obtained in order to give international efficacy to public documents obtained in a different country of Spain. But it's a process which is relatively simple, always that the investor has all the documents in hand. The translation and the apostille process is more or less a straightforward process.
Okay. I have another question for you. Can family members accompany the investor?
Yeah, of course. There are determined conditions in which the family of the investor can join the visa. Usually the spouse or the dependents of the economical or personal dependents of the investor. For example, descendants of less than 21 years or even more. For example, ascendants which is proved that they are economically or personally dependent of the investor are considered to be joined together with the golden visa of the investor. So in these cases, there is no additional investment of each one of the family member. So if, for example, yeah.
So everyone goes in the same family group.
That's correct. For example, I will put you an example. Imagine that an investor requires the investment in a property of 500,000 euros with a spouse and 2 children. So in this case, the process will be considered just for the obtention or to obtain the 500,000 euros investment in Spain, and on that moment, the investor will obtain the golden visa on his name. And always that the spouse demonstrates that is the current spouse of the investor and also the children. On that moment, they will be automatically joined into the investment. So it will not be necessary, if they are 4, to invest 500,000 euros per 4 for each one of them to obtain the golden visa in Spain.
Got it. I got it. Juan Carlos, what is the application process for a golden visa? How does it start? What is the first step?
The first step is to obtain what we call an investor resident visa, which is a temporary residence permit for 1 year. This can be extended to 2 years residence permit, and it will be renewable for additional 2-year periods. To process and renew the resident visa, the investor must maintain the investment in Spain and must make a visit during the residency period. So it's very important to know that in the moment in which the investor for example, in the case of the acquisition of a property in Spain, it is important that the visa will be maintained always, that the investor keeps the investment in place. So in the moment with the property is sold, then this could affect the validity of the visa. And also it's necessary during this 1 year to visit at least once Spain.
Right.
The good point here is that after 5 years of residence, in the moment in which the golden visa is renovated, periodically always keeping the investment, the investor can apply for what we call the permanent residence. The permanent resident visa is a very important visa in Spain, which will provide to the investor with all the benefits and rights as an Spanish resident or EU resident in Spain, with access to public health system, educational, etc., and even if the residence is kept up to 10 years, then the investor can even apply for the citizenship of Spain.
Okay.
It's also very important that the applicant must obtain what we call the NI number. The NI number is a tax document in order to identify foreign investors in Spain, and which is needed not only for the golden visa, but also is usually necessary for opening a bank account, establishing a company, buying a property in Spain, or renting a property, or any other economical or tax transactions in Spain.
Got it. Juan Carlos, I have one question regarding what you just mentioned. After 5 years of residence, investors can apply for a permanent residence visa. Is that permanent resident visa still tied to the real estate investment, or actually the investor can go and sell that property and still keep the permanent residence with it?
Yeah, you are totally right. In the moment in which the investor has passed 5 years in Spain, then and he opts and obtains the permanent visa in Spain, then he will be considered as a Spanish resident, and it will not be necessary to keep the requirements or the conditions in which he obtained the previous golden visa. So the golden visa will not be linked to the permanent visa. So on that moment, the resident can sell the property or rent or live in other bases in Spain, and it will not be necessary to keep the requirements and the conditions for the golden visa, because they will be right now in another immigration or residence process or conditions which are totally different from the golden visa.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, Juan Carlos. So finally, what are some key tips you would give to those considering applying for the golden visa in Spain?
Well, the golden visa is as I was informing to you in this nice presentation. Golden visa is a straightforward process, but there are many things involved here. The personal qualification from the investor, family members, justification of funds, and also 2 different administrations, Spain and in this case other countries like US, in which it is necessary to be developed by professionals. So my opinion or my recommendation is always the investor, in the moments in which the intention to come to Spain is solid, then to look for the proper professionals to defend the position of the investor and to help them in all the steps of the process. Okay.
So it's wrapping up what you just said. Is very important to get legal advice and have someone specifically local that can help the investors to maximize the chances of success in that application.
Yeah, that's essential. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Juan Carlos, for sharing with us your knowledge about the golden visa in Spain. It has been very, very informative, and I really want you to thank you for your time, for being with us today.
It's really a pleasure. It's myself that thank you for have the chance to keep this time with you, and always at your disposal.
For anyone who wants to contact directly Juan Carlos, I'm going to put his contact information in the description of the video. Thank you. Bye, Juan Carlos.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm Marilyn Santalices, your global and real estate advisor. If you have any questions, please drop that question in the comment area below, or you can reach me out directly.